Hello, come with me. So, lots to talk about, so I'm going to rattle through it quickly. Series 1 4.2 home market car. We look after this car all the time in our storage facility. We just brought it in for full carb check, fresh fluids, fresh fuel, ready for summer fun. Engines are, we're so busy on engines. So if you've got any engine work, gearbox work, we're flat out in there. Always happy to help as well. So if anybody is after any engine work or any sub-assembly work, that's a major part of our business now. So please do stay in touch on that stuff. Chassis 113, we just moved on to trolley to get a few of the next stage sorted. Chassis 39 is ready for road test. A really lovely, very special XK120, which has come from the Netherlands. Not restored by us, but we are now going through it because it has a few electrical issues and a few mechanical issues. So we're just getting this car benchmarked with our check-in sheet. So every car which comes into us, we do a 5-page document, everything from tyre depth down to leak, down to compression, down to electrical check, down to reverse light bulbs. So we have a complete datum. So every car we don't know anything about, or actually every car we know, when it comes here, we do a check-in sheet. And then that is obviously followed by a check-out sheet when it leaves us. So we know academically where the car is at any one time. It's a car which is driven very hard, and we're now prepping it so we can carry on doing that. Aluminium XK120. Minus carburetors is now complete. So this will be going back to its owner next week. I'm very proud of what we've done. We've done a lot of work on this car. I can't say too much about the car because of the owner, but it is a car which we've put our heart and soul in the last couple of months to get it ready. It's Sterling Moss's old factory works car, so it's just a really lovely thing. Going into we call Unit 2, which is where the humble thing all started. Preservation car, which we're getting ready for the season. We have a very highly modified V12, not restored by us, but it's a lovely thing. So we're just doing a few things on that, such as rear UJs, geometry. We've raised the V12 E-types have a horrible tendency to sag at the front. So with our cars, we've created tooling, so we can benchmark and reset torsion bars correctly. And we've made different cams, so we have a better cam profile to raise the torsion bars up if we need to. So we tend to put torsion bars at base settings, and then we have the ability to wind them up as well. It's something which we've got very efficient and very good at is V12 E-types. So from our reputation now, we're sort of seeing a lot of them. And I really do adhere to them. I love V12 E-types. A 1930 Invicta. If you are into Invictas, this one is called Scrapper. As a schoolboy, my best friend's father had an Invicta, and he did the Mille Miglia in it. So ever since I've been a teenager, with my friend Hector's father having one, it's always been in my sort of back of my mind that I wanted to know more about them. So this particular car is owned by a really lovely gent, a fantastic guy, and he bought the car recently from auction, and we're now in full rally prep mode where the company will go up to Scotland and we'll support the car for the week doing the 1,000 miles round the Cairngorms and round Aberdeenshire. So we're into full axle because kimpings are worn out, brakes are worn out, brake lines are worn out, fuel lines are worn out. We've had to make, he's quite a tall gentleman, so we've made an aero screen to go above the windscreen so the top of your head doesn't get fluffed up. We've done a prototype version of aluminium, and now we're doing a version in clear acrylic. So we're doing a lot of rally support on the Invicta, which is really a passion project for me because I love pre-war cars. And we've always got something in the business through our current customer base who have other cars. This is a really cool thing. 700 UK. Second week of February 1962 car. The gentleman who owns this is 85 years old. He bought the car in 1968 and he's had the car his entire life. So he is the second owner, and he's owned the car since 1968. So we're having a big push for him to get her completed. Right and drive, home market, Series 1 4.2. We're very lucky. We came in for an engine rebuild end of last year, and since we've been doing the engine rebuild, he's now concluded, whilst looking at other cars we've built here, that he would like to have his car fully entered into the Haynes program. So this car, as of Monday, will start the full Haynes restoration process. So we'll have it stripped out in this room, then we'll go for soda blasting, then we'll go into full fabrication, off we go. So this is the latest car to enter the Haynes restoration. Really, really lucky, very proud of it. Oh yes, and then we got XJC, which we've now basically finished. I love XJCs. Go out and buy an XJC, they will be the next cool thing. I know Harry Metcalf's done one, which is epic, V12. But if you find one, in my opinion, the absolute bargain in the centre at the moment. So yes, if I bought one, Mrs. Haynes would be furious. But as a family wagon, XJCs really are, they're really there. It's also, my father was also heavily involved in that car, as well as my grandfather. So it's very nice to have cars in the building which my grandfather and my father were involved with at the factory in period. So very emotionally connected to the late 60s, early 70s XJs. It's just a lovely history. And also they're lovely to work on. So that's these two rooms. Should we keep going? Otherwise it's the longest video in the world. We call this the Haynes Works. This is the full restoration room. So we've got chassis 8, which is about to go to the paint shop. We've finished dry fitting, basically. We've spoken a lot about this car, so we'll keep it brief. Chassis 73, full matching numbers, opalescent gunmetal grey with red 1961 fixed head, built to the full Haynes spec. One of my favourite cars we have in process. Chassis 35, we're well on our way. We're just waiting for a book slot at the trimmers. Apart from that, we are finished. Chassis 43, we're doing complete front end on, so we're just in the process of stripping it out, and we're using this time now before we paint engine frames, etc., to do all the brake lines. So Adam, bless him, has spent this week making beautiful brake lines and how we do it, as well as doing dry build of calipers, steering rack, etc. So next time I show you, this car will in theory be complete. This is called the Donington car, which was, I believe it came off the road when it was 4 months old, had a bad crash at Donington. So it's a hugely original car. It was built by the very talented people down at E-type UK. And now the customer accidentally caught the paint. So we've been instructed to paint some of the car, which we've done using our friends at Peacocks in Coventry. So this car is basically non-mechanical, but we're doing a body fit out where we'll fit the windscreen, chrome work, and get her where she needs to be. Leading us neatly to the end of our commemorative. This is chassis 37 of the 50 commemoratives. We're now on the very, very last closing stage of the full restoration. So we'll be doing a whole feature film on this because chassis 37 of the 50 commemoratives is owned by and built alongside chassis 35 OBL. So we've built both cars in conjunction, owned by the same owner, built by the same team in the same time period. So I don't think, I may be wrong, but I don't think anybody else has done a full bookend of E-type production built by the same team in the same procedure using the same detail. Really exciting. Really want to do an entire feature on these two cars, but we're slightly holding off until both cars are completed, which is now weeks away instead of months away. So that's exciting. That's a very brief walk around. We've obviously got the Mark 1 Jaguar, which is currently having its engine back together. The Mark 1 is for sale. We haven't done a very good job advertising it, but we do need to sell that car. So if you are interested in doing Goodwood and running a car in St Mary's, our car is one of the best out there. We've done an awful lot of R&D on it, and again there'll be a video coming on that car too. If you would like to have any more information on the Mark 1, please do get in touch, as well as if there's anything we can ever help with, from full restoration to paint to trim to building engines, building axles. If you see a car you're not quite sure about, I do inspections, we do reports, and we're always on the phone for friendly advice. We've just taken on the restoration of our first Ferrari, which is a Ferrari 250 GT Eleanor, which is very exciting. A lot more to say about that, and that will be coming to us next week, as well as a few other very interesting things bubbling. So we're really busy, lots to talk about, never enough time. But I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. You know where we are if you need us. Thank you so much for watching.